Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Faith. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old who I just put down for a nap. I'm going to enjoy some coffee and whip up some breakfast and snack items so that we can eat healthy all week long. I love to do this whenever I have a free moment. Meal prepping helps me stay healthy and keeps me fueled as I live a very active life with chasing 2 kids and working out and nursing. So hopefully you guys will love these breakfast and snack items. I'm going to be making some breakfast cookies, which my daughter loves, some overnight oat jars, as well as some blueberry cornmeal muffins. Those would be some breakfast items. And then for snacks, I'm going to be chopping up some veggies, making some chocolate hummus, as well as a homemade ranch dip. So lots of fun, delicious recipes coming your way. All the recipes will be linked down below or written out so that you guys can make them yourself. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys a new favorite product that I have been loving and show you how I use it. So stay tuned if any of that sounds good. Let's jump into the recipes. Next up, I'm making my breakfast for the week. So usually I wake up super early and get hungry way before my husband and kids. So I like to make my favorite breakfast, which includes chocolate. Now you might be wondering why I am shredding up a bunch of zucchini, but I love to add shredded zucchini to my oatmeal whenever I have it on hand, just because it adds a lot of nutrition and bulk. I love to eat large volumes of food because I'm just hungry. So yes, I shredded and chopped up some zucchini, and now I'm adding some quick oats to jars. I usually do about a half cup of oats, and then here I'm adding in a tablespoon of chia seeds. And I also add a tablespoon of cocoa powder, but I forgot to show that. And I'm also adding in half a scoop of chocolate protein powder, as well as some cinnamon and a pinch of salt. As you can see, it is so easy to meal prep 5 jars all at once, and then it just makes my morning so much easier when I have them all set and ready to go. Now, before I add in the wet ingredients, I like to give the dry ingredients a little stir, and then I'm going to top these off with shredded zucchini, and now I'm going to add in some flax milk. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while now, then you will know that I eat flaxseed on a regular basis, usually about a tablespoon every morning, whether that's in my hot oatmeal or in energy bites, or I just sprinkle it on top of my muffins or baked goods, or anytime I don't eat something with flaxseed for breakfast, I usually add it on top. I just think it's such an important food to include in your diet if you eat a plant-based diet for omegas, fiber, protein, all that good stuff. So I recently discovered Malibu milk, and they are kindly sponsoring this portion of the video. But I love using this milk for overnight oats because usually I make my overnight oats with chia seeds, so I'm not getting in those flax seeds. So I love to use their flax milk as the liquid in my overnight oats, so I get the benefits of flax and still get to enjoy my chocolatey overnight oats. The thing I love most about Malibu milk is that they blend up the entire flaxseed and don't strain out the pulp. So unlike almond milk or oat milk where the pulp is removed and all those nutrients are removed, all of the goodness of flax seeds stays in the milk so that you get all those benefits like the protein, the fiber, and the omegas. Malibu milk has a few different flavors to choose from. My daughter loves the pink milk, which is the original, and it's slightly sweetened, so we love to use that on our cereal or just to drink with the breakfast cookies. I personally like to use the unsweetened vanilla or the unsweetened in my overnight oat jars because my protein powder already has sweetener in it. They also have an oat and flax milk, which is great for tea or coffee as it has a more mild flax flavor. Malibu Milk is kindly giving you guys 15% off your first order. If you want to check them out, the code will be down below in my description box. So be sure to try out their milks if you want to include more of the benefits of flax in your diet. Alright, next up I am making some blueberry cornmeal muffins, and we are going to start by making 2 flax eggs. So again, we're using flaxseed, my favorite. We're going to whisk up 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed and 6 tablespoons of water to create 2 eggs. And then I'm going to create my own homemade buttermilk as I get the cookies out of the oven, but you're just going to add a little bit of apple cider vinegar to your milk of choice. I'm using Malibu milk. You're also going to whisk in some baking soda, and that will all be your leavening agent for these muffins. Now I'm going to add in the rest of the wet ingredients to my thickened flax eggs before adding in some whole wheat flour and cornmeal, as well as some blueberries. My blueberries were massive, so I probably should have chopped them up, but I was lazy and just trying to get stuff done while my kids were asleep, and it worked out fine. You're going to mix that all together until just combined, and then pop the batter into 12 greased muffin cups before baking these in the oven until light and fluffy. And we really loved having these on hand for breakfast during the week. They're different than a muffin I usually make, as the cornmeal gives them a nice cornbread flavor and the blueberries add beautiful color and a nice fruity filling. Next up, I'm doing something I wish I did more often, and that is just prepping some raw veggies. We ate all of these veggies so quickly just because they were on hand, peeled, cut, and we had them with the ranch dressing that I'm going to show you next. But all I'm doing is peeling my carrots and I'm chopping them up into sticks, or you could do whatever shape, size you want. But I just chopped these up, and then I rinsed my celery, cut it into pieces. And then a trick that I learned from my mother-in-law is to store my veggies in water. It keeps them cold and fresh and crispy, and everybody ate all of these veggies so quickly. I think they lasted about a day or two. My nieces loved the carrots, especially soaked in the water, and my daughter loved having celery on hand, as I often don't prepare it for her. So this was just so nice to have ready to go in the fridge. Next up, I'm making a simple homemade cashew ranch dressing that is a great dipping sauce for all those chopped up veggies you have on hand. It also makes a great salad dressing for salads throughout the week. So I'm just putting some soaked cashews, salt, lemon juice, garlic into a blender with some water. I'm obviously also using an immersion blender, either works. Blend that until smooth before adding in some dried chives, dill, and parsley. And you're just going to blend that again just to incorporate all those herbs. Taste it, see if you need a little more lemon juice or salt, and you have a homemade ranch that is so good with those crispy, fresh, cold veggies. This also did not last long. People were pouring it on their plates, dipping their veggies into it. So I will be having this on hand all the time now because it got my daughter to eat so many raw veggies. Last but not least, we are making some chocolate hummus. We love to eat this with pretzels or apple sticks, and it's really easy to make. So I am just putting some drained and rinsed chickpeas into a bowl with some maple syrup, a pinch of salt, cocoa powder, and that is it. If you don't have cocoa powder, you could also use some melted dark chocolate, whatever you have on hand. Blend that until smooth, preferably in a food processor, and you have some chocolate hummus. My daughter had never had chocolate hummus before, and she absolutely loved it. And now your meal prep is done. You've got your breakfast cookies, blueberry muffins, overnight oat jars, chocolate hummus, veggies, and ranch. My daughter had been patiently waiting all week until I made these cookies to have her pink milk with her breakfast cookie, and she was so excited to finally get to have it. I am so hungry in the morning, so I loved having these breakfast cookies on hand to enjoy with my hot cup of coffee after my workouts every morning. My son loved the blueberry corn muffins. I usually would just break it up into bite-sized pieces or give him half to gnaw on, and he loved these for breakfast all week long. Again, like I said, having those cut up veggies was so helpful for lunches or snacks, just to add them to our meals or have them in between meals with the ranch dressing. And the hummus also made for a perfect sweet snack with apples or pretzels. And as always, I loved having my breakfast already ready to go every morning. and all I would do was pour my soaked oats into a bowl, add on some fruit, some peanut butter, and I was ready to go. I really hope you guys enjoyed these recipes. Don't forget everything is linked down below or written out so you can make these recipes yourself. Be sure to check out Malibu Milk. I'll leave all of their information down below, as well as a 15% off code that you can use on your first purchase. And I will be seeing you guys all very soon in my next meal prep video. Bye!